All right. Everybody ready? I will begin in 30 seconds.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to begin. Okay, go ahead, G. J.E., you may begin reading.
Animals can be used in scientific and commercial testing. Topic animals have been an all-time complicated matter within people. Partially, there are pros opinions and cons opinions, whilst I will be presenting my pros opinion. An estimated number of 26 million animals by official researchers are used yearly in the US for tests, both scientific and commercial. Researches on living animals have been practiced since 500 BC. The reason is that scientists and researchers benefit from animals to promote human dignity, the growth of medical technology, and to improve human health. First, these tests on animals are not for nothing. It benefits us in various ways. The skin and fur of animals can be used to produce clothing and accessories. It's the most important reason. All meat are from
One second. Sorry to stop you there, G. Are you meant to be reading the text?
No, just the idea, so I could just read the words. Yeah.
Because
Should I not use it?
well, from the itinerary that I've been given, it was meant to begin with you reading the text that you were meant to research into, and then it would follow by Jihu from the negative team reading it again to me, and then it would come back to your teammate Yun Song to then debate against it for it. Sorry, followed by a counter argument. Yeah, so if you want to go ahead and read the text for me, okay? And then you'll be called again after to give your debate towards it.
Oh, because I just wrote the text by myself, so yeah.
Oh, you rewrote the text.
No, I didn't rewrite the text. I was not given the information that we were given a text, so I didn't know that at all.
Oh, okay. Okay, since you weren't notified about this, we'll carry on. Sorry to interrupt you, and carry on with what you're doing. You were doing great. Okay.
First, these tests on animals are not personal. It benefits us in various ways. The skin and fur of animals could be used to produce clothing and accessories. As the most important reason, all meats are from animals, which is why humans can stay healthy and retain energy. The problem is that majority of people demand that it is cruel and inhumane to just take away innocent animals' life like that. However, I believe in the fact that every single person in this world is not forced, but they are just using the supplies provided by animals. So they shouldn't be just totally not agreeing in this idea. Therefore, I think that opposing the people can just use animal provided tools while standing the animals by heart. So the act would be totally inhumane. Next, I'll be talking about medical technology. Vaccinations, medications, and operational matters have been the most worrying problem to scientists, doctors, and researchers. To solve the problem on lack of reassurance, whether the medication is effective or harmful, animals could be used to test on these hospitalizations. I do so think that unless the animals do not feel harsh pain, testing on medications would be fine. Lastly, this topic would allowed to share on technology developments. Nowadays, laboratory workers, scientists, and researchers are searching for more information. Animals give huge help. Animals have a similar physical and mental states, which give us steady condition to examine more about the world and beyond the states. Even if the animals
Jay, you're going very over the time.
really
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, I just thought I'd pause you there before you keep going because I could end up listening to you for the rest of the night. But very good points. Very clear and concise. Okay, so I believe it's Jihu coming up next. So we'll carry on. Okay.
Am I supposed to read the text or am I debating?
You're meant to be reading the text. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Ready? You may begin. Whenever you're ready.
Should animals be used for scientific or commercial testing? An estimated 26 million animals are used every year in the United States for scientific and commercial testing. Animals are used to develop medical treatments, determine the toxicity of medications, check the safety of products destined for human use, and other biomedical, commercial, and healthcare uses. Research on living animals has been practiced since at least 500 BC. Proponents of animal testing say that it has enabled the development of many life-saving treatments for both humans and animals, that there is no alternative method for researching a complete living organism, and that strict regulations prevent the mistreatment of animals in laboratories. Opponents of animal testing say that this is cruel and inhumane to experiment on animals, that alternative methods available to researchers can replace animal testing, and that animals are so different from human beings that research on animals often yields irrelevant results.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to skip on to the next part. So this will be Yun Song.
Okay.
I'm going to skip now. You should see it. Okay, this is for the debating.
Okay, so animals are appropriate research subjects because they're similar to human beings in many ways. Chimpanzees share 99% of their DNA with humans, and mice are 98% genetically similar to humans. All mammals, including humans, are descended from common ancestors, and all have the same set of organs such as heart, kidneys, lungs, etc. that function essentially the same way with the help of a bloodstream and central nervous system. Relatively few animals are used in research, which is small price to advance medical progresses. People in the United States eat 9 billion chickens and 150 million cattle, pigs, and sheep annually. Yet we only use around 26 million animals for research, 95% of which are rodents, birds, and fish. We eat more than 1,800 times the number of pigs than the number used in research, and we consume more than 340 chickens for every research animals. Chris Abbey, director of the University of Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center's Animal Research Facility, says that we wouldn't have a vaccine for this be without chimpanzees, and says that the use of chimps is our best hope for finding a vaccine for hepatitis C, a disease that kills thousands of Americans annually. Only Americans. Thank you.
You've got another minute to work with if you have any other points you could speak about. If not, then that's fine.
And also, can I speak more?
Can, of course.
Okay, so also animals themselves benefit from the results from animal testing. If vaccines were not tested of animals, millions of animals would have died from rabies, distemper, spleen leukemia, infectious hepatitis virus, tetanus, anthrax, and canine parvovirus. Treatments for animals developed using animal testing also include pacemakers for heart disease and also remedies for glaucoma and hip dysplasia. So animal testing has also been an instrumental in saving endangered species from extinction, including the black-footed ferret, the California condor, and the tamarins in Brazil. Koalas ravaged by an epidemic of sexually transmitted chlamydia and now classified as endangered in some regions of Australia are being tested with new chlamydia vaccines that slows the rate of infection and treats early stages in the disease. Sorry.
Okay, that was good. Thank you very much. Okay, so next up, Hongyeon.
Yes.
Okay, you're going to be debating. Go ahead.
Do I start now?
Yes, you may.
Animals should not be used for scientific or commercial testing. Firstly, humans and animals do not react the same way to a drug. Some medicines may work well for some animals, but it might not work for humans. Some drugs like MD and NPH were effective when testing on animals, but have failed in humans. Also, over 85 HIV vaccines have failed in humans after working well on animals. During the experiment, the animals are kept in an unnatural environment which will give them stress. Therefore, they won't react to the drugs in the same way compared to the reaction in a natural environment. Next, animal testing are very expensive. As the animals must be fed, housed, cared for, and treated with drugs or similar experimental substances, and animal testing may occur more than once to thousands of animals, which means that additional costs are needed. Lastly, instead of doing experiments using animals, alternative testing methods now exist that can replace the needs of animals. For example, studying cells in a petri dish can produce more relevant results than animal testing because human cells can be used. In addition, artificial human skin, such as epiderm and thin circ, is made from sheets of human cells that grow in a test tube that can produce more useful results than testing on an animal. In conclusion, animals should be used for scientific or commercial testing. This is because humans and animals do not react the same way to drugs. Animal testing are very expensive and alternative testing methods can replace animals.
Okay. Is that all you have to add?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a counter argument maybe for what Yun Song has said?
No.
No? Okay, no problem. Okay. Next up. JE. You ready to go again?
Yeah.
Okay, JE, go ahead.
Including cancer and HIV drugs, insulin, antibiotics, vaccines, and many more medical medicine have been made by animal testing. It indicates that even though we encounter a difficult situation, because animals' physicals are very similar to humans, we can help even a little bit in developing the technology. Nowadays, when laboratory workers, scientists, and researchers are searching for the perfect helpers, animals are the right one. So, because, as I mentioned above, animals have a similar physical and mental state, which gives a safe and steady condition to examine more about the world and beyond the states. Which is, if somebody wants to figure out more about human life and how they work, they can use animal cells to get the results and know more about human life. However, the thing is that many people think it is inhumane to just capture animals in a cage and just get their freedom so they can't be able to go back to their habitats. However, the thing is that we can solve this problem by keeping and maintaining an friendly, sorry, an environmental friendly atmosphere and surroundings, so it would not give stress to the animals. From all these reasons, I result in thinking that animals used in scientific and commercial tests are fine as long as they would be treated with humanity and not to be thought different from human emotion. How much time do I have left?
30 seconds, if you can fill it.
That's why I have my pros opinion in allowing animals to be used in scientific and commercial testing. Thank you.
Okay. Very good. Alrighty. So, Jihu?
I do the debate, right?
Yes, you shall be debating now.
Successful results in animals about medicines for people does not always apply on human beings. This means that although the medicine has been showing the right phenomenon to an animal, it might not for people. Also, researches on animals may lead to irrelevant results. If this happens, medicines could not be sold in pharmacies and markets. With the world's improving computer systems, medical technology, and clinical studies, we can know what happened in our bodies during the time when the medicine was given, and we need not create pain and discomfort to animals. This can show clearer results. Humans, gorillas, and chimpanzees are in the same family called Hominidae. Therefore, many experiments involve these animals. However, gorillas and chimpanzees are showing great decrease in number, classified as critically endangered species on the IUCN, International Union for Conservation of Nature. Yeah.
Can you add any more? Maybe try and pick up some of the points that the other team said. Try and go against them.
I don't know.
No?
Yeah.
Okay. So now I think it brings it back to Yun Song.
So it's now my turn to say the conclusion, right?
Yep. You may go ahead.
Okay. So in conclusion, I strongly believe that animals are our only hope for finding the way to heal millions of people. However, it is a surely controversial issue. But doing experiments is legal unless there are continuous arguments between animal abuse and improving human health. Thank you.
Okay. So, and the conclusion from the other side. Hong-Yun, your conclusion?
In conclusion, I think that animals should not be used for scientific or commercial testing. This is because humans and animals do not react the same way to some drugs. Animal testings are very expensive, and alternative testing methods can replace animals. And I believe that before doing the experiment, scientists should think more whether animal testing are really necessary.
Okay. Everything done? Okay. So, all right then. So, does everyone feel happy with what they've done?
Maybe.
Maybe. You guys should be confident in yourselves. All right. Let's start with the affirmative team. So, JE. Okay, initially we had a bit of a mix-up because I thought it was you were meant to read it, and I think maybe you were just misinformed a little bit, which is fine. We can work with that. So your initial reading, even though you didn't read the script, what you were saying was very clear and concise. Because really, with the reading part, we're just wanting to look at how you're when you're reading a script, how you can react to different parts of a sentence coming through, etc., etc. So you did very well with that. You used a lot of pauses. You were very you composed yourself. You definitely. I got every sentence that was coming through, no problem. I think there were a few times you needed just to give yourself a little bit more time to think, because you got stuck in a circle at some point where you messed up and you realized you messed up, and you just needed to take 2 seconds. That's all it takes. Just pause, stop. Even if you're in the middle of a sentence and you think you messed up a little bit, just pause and then go to your next point or carry on from there, and you'll feel a little less stressed out about that. And then we'll move on to your debating. You mentioned you made a lot of good points, but I think you needed to ask yourself, like, how. So how are these things done? How are the tests done, and what are the main issues with that? And why are they the right? Why are you right? Why is what you're saying the best thing for the debate? Do you understand what I mean? Yeah. And but overall, you transitioned well between your points. Your points were really good, and at the end, I really liked that you concluded your own debate part. You concluded it with an opinion. That was really good. Bringing your own opinion into that. Okay. And that's all for you. That was very good. Yun Song, you're you used very good scientific research. It looked like you knew what you were talking about, and you definitely showed that you know a lot of these strong words and everything like that, which is good. But you needed to ask yourself as well a little bit sometimes, just why is that point so important in your speech? And if you can bring that in, and you really give a strong reason as to why they should do animal testing, and you ask yourself, when you make each point, you ask yourself why, you answer it, then you transition to the next point. Ask yourself why, transition to the next point. And then that just backs up everything that you're saying, and that's where you can get a really strong debate, and you'll end up having that it'll be harder for them to reply to you because you've given a reason why, and that's going to really strengthen it.
Thank you.
You didn't. Your transitioning between points was a bit hard to keep up with. You would speak about something, and then you didn't finish the point necessarily, and you moved on to another point, and then you came back to your first point, and I got a little lost at some point when you were talking about all the different animals and everything like that. But all in all, I think you did really well. And those hard words like rabies, and glaucoma and chlamydia, you said them differently, but that's okay. That's just learning these words that you don't say these every day. Okay, so that's understandable. So just work on them. Just type in on YouTube, how do I say this word, and generally it'll come up. So instead of it being chlamydia, it's chlamydia. The Y gets dropped a little bit more, and like rabies is rabies. It's just small things, but you're really good overall. And your conclusion was perfect. You rounded everything into one thing, and you actually opened up to a bigger picture. So it drew it all together. It's very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, over to the negative side. People against animal testing. So, Jihu, your reading was very good. You read very smooth. Between the sentences, you could clearly know that there was a sentence end and a new sentence beginning, which is good. When people are reading, you want them to know. You want the listener to know. Oh, they're moving on. You needed to pause a little more when you see a comma. So you see a comma, you just take a nice little break and say the following parts of the sentence. And maybe try and add some tone into your reading. So if I bring it up, an estimated 26 million animals are used every year in the United States for scientific and commercial testing. So I went a lot of ups and downs in that, and you did at points actually do that at the start, but then the further we got through the text, you started to just say it all in one little tone, and it got a bit like this. You know what I mean? So if you add in some tone into your speaking, it would have been a perfect read. You made some really good points in your debating, and I like that you referred back to you were the only one to counter Yun Song's argument with the monkeys and the gorillas and everything. So that was good. That was a counter argument in itself to what the other team was saying. But you mentioned about how they're not going to be good for humans because it's been done on animals. But you need to just ask yourself why. Just why they're not as good, But overall, really good. And finally, Hongyeon, you did some very good research into the drugs and the expenses that go along with animal testing, why it's not a good thing. And I like the counter arguments and the ways that it can be avoided animal testing using artificial skin and how it can be effective in a petri dish. Very good. But like I said, you had some time where you could have thought on your feet and maybe throw in the counter argument, because Yun Song had just mentioned about all the monkeys and the gorillas and everything. And if you had found some research into that or something like that, you could maybe even have your speech ready, right? You have your debate and the points you want to make, and then have a separate list of counter arguments. Maybe do some research into your enemy team and what they're going to be saying, and then you can be like, I know he's going to mention about gorillas and monkeys, so I'm gonna counter that when it comes to my turn. You know what I mean? Yeah. But your speech was very good, very clear and concise. You paused a lot between the points. I could clearly see the different points were coming through. And for the evaluation, you touched on every single point you mentioned and rounded it all up together. So overall, very good. Now I think I have to make a decision, don't I? As to who won? Huh? Oh, it's a close one. But I think the affirmative team gets it. Yeah, I think that was just how it was. Let me confirm it. There we go. All right, guys. Is there any questions you want to ask me?
Thank you.
You guys all good?
Yes. So every
You guys
Monday
happy
we'll
with
have
your?
a debate in class.
I believe so. I can check with my superiors and see what's happening. I think
Okay.
I'm not sure if I will have you guys every time, but if it is, then I'll be keeping a record and see how you guys improve. All right.
Well, all
No
right.
pressure. No pressure. No pressure. All right. I think that concludes everything. So if you guys are happy, I'm happy. All right.
Okay.
So I'll see you
Yeah.
guys next week, hopefully.
Okay. See you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.